Hi guys, I just want to show you the difference between good and bad slides. So I'll show you the bad slide and talk about why it's bad, then the good slide and why it's improved. So let's get started. So here's the first bad slide. It's bad because the background is very busy, and so we don't know whether to look at the background or the picture, and there's lots of empty space over here that's not being used, and it's missing a navigation bar. So let me improve this. So here's the improved slide. I'm using space much better, so I have things centered. I have a border around the picture to make it stand out. You don't have to have a border. And down here at the bottom I have a navigation bar. Now a navigation bar tells the audience a few things. It tells the audience the name of your talk, so this talk would be about Mother Nature, and then it tells the audience the major topics, not the subtopics, but the major topics in your talk. And so this navigation bar tells the audience that I was talking about tornadoes. Right now I'm talking about blizzards. In a minute I'll talk about tsunamis. And the navigation bar is separated away from the regular slide by some kind of a color or a border in some way. And I built all of this myself. Now this navigation bar is going to stay exactly the same on every slide in the presentation. The only thing that changes is maybe the color of these words. So once I get to tsunamis, I'll turn it black and then I'll turn blizzards gray. And I have to do all that myself. It's not like it does that automatically. Here's the next slide that's not very good. Leopard's food. And then yes, animation is good. But this isn't, very effective here. Like I probably should have capital letters when I start my points. The text here doesn't look like it's the same size. And it's also not accurate. Leopards eat more than just rabbits and deer. So I got to think about what I'm saying here. And also this picture, even though it might be beautiful, it has nothing to do with leopards. And of course it's missing a navigation bar. So this is a much improved slide. The image is obviously on target this time, and the spacing is better. The layout, I don't have a bunch of empty space. This is an advanced navigation bar, probably the most advanced that you could build. So I've got a blue shape, like a rectangle shape, and then I've used text boxes for these words and found special characters to let the audience know which topic I'm on. And now I have animation as well. And this is important, to let that title and let the picture be there already for the audience and then bring in the point. So I like to talk about, what it eats and how it's an omnivore. And I talk about that, and my second point is hidden until I'm ready to talk about it. And after I'm finished talking about this omnivore topic, then I can say leopards are also scavengers. So I want my text to come in as I mention it. So this is a bad slide for a couple reasons. Number one, the space isn't, the layout isn't good, but I have animation on the title. You really need that title to be there first so the audience connect the words, and then bring the pictures. The pictures and text can have animation to support the title. And there's a bunch of white empty space, and that's a pretty flashy animation. I want my animations to be very subtle, so this would be better. I've got the title already sitting there, I'm talking about it, and then here's the example. It's a larger image and I'm bringing it in with subtle animation, and then I have a very basic navigation bar at the bottom. So there's actually not too much wrong with this slide. It's got a good title, good use of space. There isn't a bunch of empty space. Okay, I'm missing a navigation bar. But over here I've got too much text, and my text is wrapping around here. I would try and stretch it so that all the text fits on one line. So I need short text, but this isn't easy to remember. Now I can say all this stuff. This maybe could be in my notes that only I see, but I need to clean this up and use memorable short phrases. Okay, for sure, no long sentences, no full sentences at all, short phrases, and use animation. So something like this, talk about infrastructure and then defense, and when I'm ready, I'll talk about provincial policies, and those are coming in with animation, but these are a lot easier to remember than what we saw before. Now my navigation bar down here at the bottom, I think it's incomplete. It has too few words. It looks like the entire talk is only about leadership, but I doubt that. So I want the major topics of my talk, probably 3 or 4 major topics, to be here for the audience to see. And I'm going to try and separate that navigation bar a little bit better away from the rest of the slide. Okay, this is an ugly background. but I have full sentences, so that's not good. I want short, memorable words. And really, when I look at this information, 34% of landfill waste is plastic bottles. This picture doesn't help me see that. Same thing with yard scraps. How are you going to see plastic or yard scraps in the picture? So even though it might be an interesting picture or a good picture, it doesn't connect with the words. So this would be somewhat of an improvement. 34% is plastic. That's easier to understand than these long sentences. So this is an improvement, but still the picture isn't very helpful. And so this is actually better. A graph. So you don't always have to have a picture. Now the background might be a little bit, maybe I would get rid of this and make it white. But sometimes graphs are better than images. And I would probably separate this navigation bar like with some kind of a border to separate it off and away from the rest of the normal slides. This is actually a student's slide, and I don't know if you can see it in the video, but I'm going to actually send you this PowerPoint file so you can see it. But there's a line through this picture that they've chosen. It's called a watermark. And somebody put that picture on the internet with a watermark saying don't use this picture without my permission. So don't use pictures from the internet with watermarks, and I'll show you that at the end of the video. Plus this picture is really blurry, so it's a low quality picture, and of course we can hardly read the text. So let me remove the back. Oh, there's another slide. So you can hardly read that text. It's getting washed out. But let me remove the background. This text is still hard to read. So make sure you're choosing a text that's easy to read. It's large enough. Okay, size 28 is the smallest, and that would be in your navigation bar. This text up here should be 28 or more. And again, not long text. I need to shorten it up. So same thing. This is just too long. So I'm taking this concept here and turning it into one single slide. So I would have animation on these points, and then I'm going to make another point and bring in the second point. Sometimes I can fit multiple points on one page when I shorten up the text. And I could get rid of this background here if I really wanted to get a really good mark, and I would probably stretch this navigation bar right to the edge. But let's see if I can remove this background. I think I do it right there. There, it's gone. And sometimes you can remove a background. Like this one you can't because it would eat into his hair, but this background was easy to remove, and I can show you how to do that on some of the PowerPoint demos. So here I just want to finish this PowerPoint by talking about quality images. You might not be able to see it in this video, but once you look at the file, you'll see that there's a lot of blurry edges around the hat of the cowboy. You can't see the bullseye. There's actually people in the audience that are very blurry. And here's a way better image. It's just a higher quality where I can see the bullseye, and there's just more detail, nothing fuzzy or blurry, and the audience is just more visible. So I want to finish off here by showing you how to find quality images online. So let's go to Google and let's just type in, I'll just type in a bowl and then click images. So there's all kinds of images, and once you click on one and you over here you can see the number of pixels. Somehow you need to find out the resolution. Okay, if you're up above 1,000, like this is 2,400 horizontal pixels by 2,200 vertical pixels, I know this image is dynamite. It's super high quality. But as I go along, see 640 by 480, do not use this image. Okay, and so once you find an image that you want to use, you can't copy it. Don't right click and copy this image. You're not getting the full 2000 version. You need to click on the image and get to the actual website until you see the image. Here you go. Here's the large image. Now you can right click this and save the image. Don't copy the image. Save the image somewhere on your computer, and then when you go to your PowerPoint, you're going to insert the image from the saved file. That'll guarantee that you have that original large image. Okay. I also want to show you, like when you're a student, you're allowed to use any image off the internet you want, unless there's a watermark on it. you'll see it. There's white lines there. This might be one. There you go. Fine art prints of distinction. This person wrote these words on here to stop you from using it. They don't want you to use it, and so don't use it unless you go and get permission from them. But you'll see any kind of picture that has white lines or a logo on it, they're trying to stop you from using it. So once you leave ACC, however, and you enter the work world, you're not allowed to just take any image off the internet and use it. You need to find images that are free to use, okay? If you're publishing it. So if you're going to put one of these images on your website or on an advertisement from your website or a poster or a company, anything that has to do with your company and making money, you're not allowed to just take any image you want. So go to Tools and then click on Tools. There we go. And then Usage Rights. So for example, nothing's being filtered right now, but you can choose these different options. This one, if I click here, it'll show me images that I'm allowed to reuse, and I can make changes to the images. So I can crop them, put things on top of them, put words on top of my image. This one is just go ahead and reuse it, and then these ones are reusing for non-commercial uses. So they don't want me to make money off of it. So as soon as I click one of these words, my results in the background are going to change. Let's try it. It's showing me different images now, but I know that these images, I'm allowed to use them. There's also some websites that are full of free images, Commons in Flickr and Morguefile. I'll put a couple links below. There's fewer images to choose from, but you know that they're really high quality and they're free images. I really expect your presentations to be high quality and well designed, so the video you just watched is very important. Thanks for watching.